Welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan with your hosts, Adrian and Mac.
Welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan, everyone. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Hulk Hogan, brother. Let me tell you something. All you little Hulkamaniacs out there, you need to come out here and listen to the Kentucky Game Plan.
Sorry, I'm Mac.
That's Mac Black, everybody.
Yeah.
In a Hulk Hogan body.
Yeah, I just got influenced. But I'm very excited because we have a special guest today.
The Hype Show.
Yes, one of my favorite dudes, Mr.Goodbar.
Yes.
He's a local rapper here in Louisville.
Yep.
One of the best, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's definitely a treat later on for you guys.
Been doing it a long time with Skyscraper
Yes,
Stereo.
sir.
Yeah. So, well, Mac, let's get started, I guess, with the locals. Get this show rolling.
Oh, wow, locals.
Yep.
Looks like we got another loss. Third straight loss for Wildcats.
It's the first
Of
time
Kentucky.
since Calipari
Yeah.
has been there.
Number 24, Kentucky, 17-8 now. Versus Texas A&M, 17-8. 85-74 was the outcome of that. They were up halftime, but 30-26 at halftime. But with some hot shooting in the second half, they made 11 of 16 shots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, A&M, second half, they turned it on. So, what did Kentucky finish with as far as points?
74.
Okay.
74 points.
It seems like the ball kind of gets stagnant in the second half with them. I mean, these losses, the zone defense comes and they're just kind of like, oh, let's go one-on-one.
Well, the Aggies killed them on the fast break.
True.
That's one. And then you got the big men's blocking shot left and right. So, they definitely played their defensive game. That defensive prowess was there with Texas A&M. And I don't know, it's like they gave up.
Once they gave up, it seems like Calipari always has trouble with teams when they go zone. He kind of sticks with his offense, which it worked maybe the first half, but it's not going to work against the second half zone. So it seems like I kind of put it on the coach on this
I
game.
put it on the coach. I agree with you. It's finding that right rotation of five guys.
Right.
And he's having a difficult time doing that, and it's just not working out. Alexander had 19 points. I don't know what everybody else finished with. Because it's like nobody else contributed. But
well, I think Knox 18 points, 5 rebounds, and Diallo 13 points. So those are and like you said, Alexander 19. So those are your high scoring guys for the University of Kentucky. Texas A&M, Hogg finished with 16 points, Williams with 12, Starks with 17 points, and Gilder with 14 points.
Yeah.
So they had multiple guys coming out shooting in the second
4
half.
3-pointers.
Yeah.
4 3-pointers right into the second half. So they gave them a 14-point lead, and then, like I said, their fast breaks were just killing Kentucky.
It was
up and down the court, high octane offense.
Because Kentucky didn't have a lot of turnovers in this game.
No.
So I want to say 12 was the max turnover for them. So they protected the ball very well. It's just like you said, the fast breaks they couldn't get out, play defense.
But you got to give it up for Coach Kennedy too. You look at all the injuries that team had, and then what he's done with the team.
Exactly.
This far. So
I'm going to say Kentucky's probably going to bump out of the top 25.
Yeah, and then Texas A&M might move closer to the top 25.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely with this one.
Isn't that ironic?
Down the road, U of L, Georgia Tech.
Good game. Very good game for the Cards. They needed that win to break their 3-game losing streak. So
U of L's 77, Georgia Tech 54. U of L 17-8.
Without Adele.
Without Adele, who got injured during
Very
that
impressive.
Syracuse game. Yeah, his ankle. So he sat out during this game. U of L shot really well. 50% from the field, 3-point range, 60%, and 58% from the free throw line. So they moved the ball, they attacked, and shot very well, like I said, from the field. Hamid, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Ray Spalding, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Williams, 11 points. And Nawara, 16 points for U of L. So the ball was definitely being moved by Snyder, who had 7 assists in this game.
Right. The
So-
guys coming off the bench have been very impressive.
That's what's really helped this team.
Yeah.
'Cause it seems like they're kind of getting a little bit of a slump. They
Yeah.
get that little spark off the bench.
they'll start off flat, and then the second group comes in and just
And-
takes over.
Right, does their job.
Yeah, and everybody else just follows suit after that.
U of L plays Pitt. It's Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then North Carolina on the 17th at 8 p.m. on ESPN. So
Yeah,
definitely
it should
get
be a
ready for
good
that
one.
one. ACC battle right there.
Yeah. It's always a battle in ACC.
Very true. For Georgia Tech, Alvarado finished with 11 points, and Okeg 25 points, 10 rebounds. Georgia Tech in this game, talking about U of L, their defense, shutting it down.
Yeah.
They held Georgia Tech to 36%. That's a dramatic defensive effort there. 20 turnovers also for Georgia
Well,
Tech.
the players were saying that Padgett had them focus on defense. That's what most of their drills were. And practice was just defense, defense, defense. And it paid off.
Well, do you think Padgett's the guy now? Going forward?
Um,
Is the look still on, I guess? Or is it...
he's still doing a good job. I mean, there's other stuff we know he can work on. That's what everybody and anybody.
True.
Coaches are players. Nobody's perfect, and that's what you play for to get better.
True.
So I think he's doing a good job considering what he has to deal with. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
The other local, Bellarmine and Southern Indiana. Bellarmine playing away, so they're not protecting the house. But Bellarmine 93, Southern Indiana 48. Yeah, this really wasn't a game.
No, we're going to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, for Bellarmine, Corbett 30 points, Cook 14 points, Bach 12 points, and Eberhard 13 points.
Bellarmine's on a roll.
They're
rolling.
They are taking over.
Davenport has done a very good job with this team this year.
And Bellarmine's winning streak at home, 50-plus games in a row, so there's that still going on.
That's very impressive.
Bellarmine plays Rockhurst University Thursday at 8:30. So there's that. Western Kentucky, the other local,
That's another team that's rolling.
18-7. That's what they are. Western Kentucky over Florida International, 83-76, and it was an up and down game,
Yeah.
but Western getting it done. Justin Johnson with 25 points and 7 rebounds.
They had a very good game.
Yeah. So Western Kentucky plays North Texas Thursday night at 9 p.m. That's the next game for them.
Okay.
North Texas, pretty good squad.
Speaking of next games, Kentucky has Auburn Wednesday.
Oh,
So
that's
A&M has Missouri on Tuesday.
well, I mean,
So
Auburn's
next two battles.
a good squad.
And speaking of, your favorite player was in the house last night at the A&M Kentucky game.
Who's that?
Johnny Manziel, a 2012 Heisman winner. That's one of your favorite players, right?
No, not at all.
Oh, come on.
No.
Johnny Football?
Johnny Football.
That's your dude.
I know he's got a lot of money,
Yeah, he has a lot of money.
but I know he's trying to get back in the NFL. But hopefully the CFL works out for him.
Well, CFL. Okay.
So that's where he's at. So
Right,
hopefully
well.
it works out.
Okay, still making all that money, right?
But he's making money.
Speaking of football, what about the Eagles?
Eagles getting it done,
You know what I'm saying?
taking down the dynasty. That is-
2018 Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, taking down the
I
dynasty.
was
of
so
the
glad to
Patriots.
see that dude.
Oh yeah, we
So
all
glad to see
were.
it.
I think, in a sense, minus the Patriots fans.
Right.
But it was a great
It
game.
was.
I got to watch the first half, but I could not watch the second half. But yeah, Eagles getting it done. Nick Foles,
Yep.
looking like the Nick Foles of old.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
He definitely proved himself.
definitely proved
From all
himself.
the talk.
Yeah. All the talk going in. Which Nick Foles are you going to get? Is he mentally ready for this big game? That type of thing.
He definitely was.
But you know what? It's a lot of guys on that team that teams kind of gave up on. So,
Oh, yeah. Definitely underdogs, and they did it.
Jay Ajayi, the trade with the Dolphins, he came out and did his thing in that game. The trade with the wide receiver from the Bears, can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he came out, caught a touchdown. And then the play when Nick Foles lining up, catching that touchdown
Beautiful.
pass. Beautiful, beautiful. Also heard, before the Super Bowl was actually played, when the Eagles found out that they were going, to play the Patriots. They actually did a lot of their practices in Philly. So when they got to the arena to do the walkthroughs, they were all fake walkthroughs.
Wow.
They were all just randomly played out like backyard football type plays. So in case there was footage or there were signals that were
well,
going
we
to be
know
recorded.
how the Cheatriots like to watch other people's practices.
Exactly what Malcolm Jenkins said.
Awesome.
So there you go. So they knew going in what they were going to do.
Smart thinking.
So, yeah.
Smart thinking. Using the old noodle.
What else you got as far as local Bellarmine over there?
Bellarmine, they're doing a run for Ryan. It's a 5K. It's on Saturday, April 14th. It's at Knight Hall, Bellarmine University. Check-in time is 7 to 7:45 a.m. Race time starts at 8 a.m. It was alumni student, Ryan Tewell. She was, like I said, a student there, and she died of cancer. So we're doing something in her memory.
That's awesome.
As far as her foundation goes, a scholarship fund, actually.
Okay, scholarship
fund.
fund.
It's $35 per person. That's the entry fee. And you get a commemorative T-shirt. You must register by March 23rd to get your T-shirt for the day of the race.
Okay.
So.
No, that's awesome.
It is. If you want more information on it, you can log in at alumni.bellarmine.edu and get all the rest of the information you need. So, nice little piece of information there for those who want to go to Bellarmine or went to Bellarmine or just want to join in the 5K to help out.
Yeah, contribute.
Scholarship fund, so.
Yeah, definitely. Some other NCAA news also, upsets as far as that's concerned, top 25. Oklahoma 80, Iowa State 88. West Virginia losing to Oklahoma State, and Tennessee falling to Alabama 50-78. And the big game of the weekend, if it wasn't a local game, was Virginia Tech, Virginia.
Yes.
And Virginia Tech pulling off the upset of number 2 Virginia, 61-60.
I knew that was coming.
Well, Virginia's been playing so well. It's kind of like they've been
man.
steamrolling everybody,
Right.
Who would have thought it was being Virginia Tech that would end
Of all people.
in the run, yeah. NBA news. What's
Oh
going on
my
with that?
God. Trade. That's all we've been hearing is trade. And Cavaliers finally got this trade done.
Well, got a lot of trades done.
3-way trades.
3-way trades, yeah.
Who was traded?
Channing Frye, Isaiah Thomas.
Finally. He needed to go. In my opinion, he needed to go.
Derrick Rose, gone.
To Utah.
And now cut from Utah, but getting picked up by Washington with the whole situation with John Wall's knee surgery. So, yeah.
Isn't that ironic, though? Knee surgery.
Knee surgery.
Right.
Yeah, right? Who would have thought that? But, the trades.
They did pick up Rodney Hood.
From Utah? Okay.
Yeah. I got 2 players from L.A., Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Clarkson who can light
so
it up.
we got two young, fresh pair of legs there.
Yeah, and some shooters that can spread the floor for
Rodney
him.
Hood's definitely a shooter, so that's going to help him out. LeBron feels like they definitely have a young athletic team now.
Mm-hmm.
And those 2 guys feel like they need to be the Robin to Batman, which is LeBron. So
Also, George Hill joining that team.
George Hill. He's a playoff veteran.
Yeah.
So.
And Dwayne Wade going back to Miami.
Yes.
So
Dwayne
there's that.
Back to Miami. I mean, him and Pat Riley, settled their differences, so he's back. He got a huge standing ovation the other night.
Deserving.
It's good to see him, have Wade County back.
There you go.
So,
as far as things going on within the city, Bourbon Classics. The Bourbon Classic starts March 1st through March 3rd. March 1st is a bourbon tasting at Fraser Museum. Yeah, it's a taste of history through bourbon. Starts at 6:30, ends at 8:30. Get your tickets for that. March 2nd, also with the Bourbon Classic, the Foundry at Glassworks. Bourbon tasting there. That's from 7 to 10. March 3rd, Kentucky Center for Professional Performing Arts. It's multiple bourbon testing every hour on the hour. It's for 4 hours straight. So
wow.
Yeah.
A lot of drunk people.
Yeah, so definitely get your Ubers ready. Get your tickets. Kentucky Center's website price is different, because of the hours and stuff like that. So check
Are you
that
guys
out.
going?
I like to go just to check it out. I'm not a big
bourbon.
I'm not a big bourbon guy. So
You should be a big bourbon guy just for that.
Yeah, well, might as well get started. Start drinking for 4 hours straight.
Might as well.
Right. Also, February 14th, the Louisville Palace Babyface is going to be here. February 18th, KC Yum Center, Luke Bryant's going to be here. And Muhammad Ali Center,
$5.
$5.
We're going.
We're going. Yeah, $5 through the month of February.
Let's
to
go.
Show a valid driver's license.
Be the greatest.
And now walking through the room, our guest, he's here.
Mr. Goodbar's in the building.
He's in the building.
I am so excited today, guys. Everybody, welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan. We got a special guest in the house, Louisville's own local rapper, Mr. Goodbar.
It's great, boy.
What's good?
It's popping.
Man, I'm glad to have you in here. It's been a long time coming.
Hey, glad to be here, man. I'm old. It has been a long time.
All right, I'm loving the gear you got on with your logo.
Yeah, the whole Goodbar.
It's kind of cold, and somebody turn the heat up.
There's all this ice, man.
There's frosty
hope,
over there.
Hope y'all can hear me over all this ice.
Adrian, you're the closest one to him. I know you're cold.
Well, you know.
Somebody
it
get
is
this man
chilly.
a parka. And a
Gotta get
hood.
your sunglasses, man.
It's getting blinding in here.
So what's been up, man?
Just staying busy, man. Just mainly fatherhood here as of late.
Congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate that. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, man. She's a joy. My daughter B. Shout out to Beatrice and the wifey Allie. We just we be posted, man, like a light post.
There you go.
Well, that's enough to keep you busy. Plus, work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just got a promotion. Shout out to Humana too. I'm doing
All right.
taxes
Congratulations.
like Ness on making a band. Just doing taxes.
right.
That's what's hot in the streets.
Okay.
And,
Well, it is tax season, as they say, so,
Hey, do mine.
give me a little more time. Next year I'll get you together.
All
I gotta make a couple mistakes, and
make
mess up some of Humana's returns before I get yours right.
Make a mistake on mine first, so I can get more back.
You don't want to get audited, man. You don't want
No.
those problems. I'll get you right next year.
It sounded good.
So what is like a brief history of Mr. Goodbar and the albums and how they've progressed as far as music for you and how you've grown up and
Okay.
within.
I basically started off. I want to say like '97.
Okay.
I was just kind of I'll take it back. Yeah, it was about '97. I was in high school, and I got grounded so much that literally all I had left was paper and pencil and music. So I funnily enough, that's the reason I started doing music.
Okay.
Like I got my PlayStation taken away and television and everything because I was getting bad grades. And I wasn't like a problem child. My
Right.
parents were just kind of strict, and I think obviously it worked out for the best.
We need
yeah.
more strict parents.
Yeah,
today,
we do. We
so.
do. I don't mean to diss them at all. I'm not trying to
Right.
do that, but I'm just saying they literally took everything away from me to where all I had was a weight bench and a paper and pencil, and obviously I wasn't lifting much weights if you see me, so I was writing music.
But it all worked out. So there you go.
So then I ended up meeting this guy Rock from Rock Records, and we formed a group called the Empire, and I moved in with him in Jeffersonville. I want to say that was around 98, 99.
Yeah.
The group, we packed up and moved to Atlanta. Right around the time the whole crunk movement was really hitting, so that's like right when Atlanta started to be the mecca of hip hop. So if you wanted to, it was like basically moving to New York in the '90s. If you wanted to be a part of rap music, you need to be right there in the heart of it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true.
Things kind of fell apart there. We had a falling out. I moved back in town, and then shortly thereafter, I got with Juwan. When I was with Empire, we put out a full length LP called Guilty by Association. And that one was just me, Rock, and T-Ray. I don't know if y'all familiar with T-Ray. But
Oh, yeah.
He's really nice. He's
I've
been
seen
doing this
him
thing
the other
for a while. Yeah. He's a barber too. He's got his
Yep.
skills with the Clippers too. Yeah, he's a real dope MC. And then we put out like a few mixtapes. I think they were called "Burn This Shit," if I can say shit. I think we put 3 versions of that out. And then shortly thereafter, like I said, we fell apart. I came here. I met with Juwan. Juwan and I kind of clicked. I worked on my solo album, which ended up being our first group album. They basically just stole it and said, this is a group album. And it was just me rapping over Juwan's beats, but it was cool. It worked out. I think Landry May had a feature or 2 on there. And then we ended up, that was, what was the name of that album?
River City
Ransom.
River City
Yeah,
Ransom.
yeah. And then we put out the second album, You Can't Do That on Television.
I
I remember that one.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite of all of them.
I was
And
going to ask what was
Homeboys
your
in Outer
favorite.
Space.
And Homeboys in Outer
That's when they got real
Space.
I have
sick.
that.
Yeah. And then Scrape or Die.
Yeah.
And then we died.
Well, you saw the end, so you had to name the album.
Who's your biggest influence coming up? Like hip hop, and who do you consider your favorite rapper?
Biggie was a big influence to me, as well as Jay and Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, I was really just like into the whole East Coast vibe as a whole. I mean, in a time where, like No Limit was real prominent, Hot Boys in this area, so I almost like, it wasn't like I was just trying to be different. I just feel like East Coast spoke to me more, better than some of those other. And I didn't really like that kind of music then. I like that now,
Right.
But when I was coming up as an artist and trying to like hone my skills as an artist myself, I feel like the whole braggadocio, that type of flow, the metaphors and things like that really spoke to me from the East Coast. And I had a cousin, Tony, who lived in Mount Vernon, and he was on his fly New York shit. I used to always see him, and I kind of looked up to him. He just passed recently, so rest in peace to cousin Tony.
Oh, sorry to hear, man.
And then actually, like my cousin Val had the Wu-Tang CD, like one of the first CDs that I'd actually listened to, the Enter the 36 Chambers.
Classic.
Yeah, so I would chill at my grandma's house. She used to babysit me or whatever, and he had a little CD player, and the Wu-Tang CD was right there. So I'm like, let me check this out. Yeah, and that kind of got me going.
I remember seeing the Cream video.
Oh yeah.
Back in sophomore high school. No, I was junior high school. Take it back. Every morning before I go to work, it was either Naughty by Nature, OPP video, or it was the Cream Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah.
And I had my hair fixed like Chris Cross had the little
the duty knots.
Yes, whatever you want to call
Whatever
those. And I'm sitting here watching, Eyes Big, watching Raekwon them, and they puffy coats and the MPV, rapping about the MPVs.
Oh yeah.
Method Man, and man.
I can't forget about before that too. I was heavily influenced by Snoop and Dre too. I can't forget about them. Warren G. All those real classic albums.
So you had the West Coast and the East Coast.
Yeah,
just all in your mind.
I think I just went from West Coast like straight to East, and then when I was listening to East, it's kind of like it was the East West Coast beef. So it was like I wasn't allowed to like anything other than the East Coast, and all my friends was like, "Why you listen to that garbage?" And I'm like, "Yo, son, I'm just saying, B, like this is dead ass. This is where it's at."
Yeah, don't get caught up in that West Coast East Coast thing. That's for damn sure. You know where that ends up.
Yeah.
At an early age.
Yeah. But I mean, I just got caught up in the hype, man, because everybody else, it was the beef. So I was like, okay, well, I'm East Coast. That's what I'm repping. Fuck the West Coast. I'm not allowed to cuss. It's a family show.
It is what it is.
Sorry for cursing.
Podcast. Who's your favorite producer? All time. There you go. Let's just put it that way. Who's your
probably?
favorite?
I've got to put RZA probably up there, man. But maybe I have to say Pharrell. I think.
Okay.
Like even like my favorite album really of all time is a Nerd album, man. Like Nerd in Search of, like that album.
So underrated.
Changes my mood, man. Like I could put that album on and listen to it from front to back, and I'm like in the best mood ever. Like just really something about it.
You don't get those type albums anymore.
Yeah, and I mean not even just from a hip hop standpoint. I mean that Pharrell's an excellent hip hop producer too, but I mean I guess he's more known for his top 40, man. But like his vision, I think is. There's a lot of other producers that would be real close to him as far as that's concerned, but if I had to pick my favorite one, I think it would have to be Pharrell.
Okay.
Okay. Huh? It is.
What about who's your favorite producer that you've worked with on your music?
I have to give it to Juwan. There's a lot of producers in this area that I really like, but he was my in-house guy for a while, with Skyscraper Stereo. He was kind of the visionary behind the whole Skyscraper Stereo thing, and obviously I liked his production because I did 5 albums. I think we did 5 albums. Yeah, so
yeah.
But even before that, I was in another group, and I met him, and he did a couple of beats for us with that other group that I was with. Shout out to the Empire.
Yeah, I got that CD.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I was kind of introduced to him through that, and that's kind of how Skyscraper was formed after Empire broke up. I kind of reached out to him, and then we kind of formed a group, and his brother jumped in, and I was actually working on my first solo album with Juwan,
Right.
and his brother was kind of in on a lot of our sessions and everything, Landry, and Dat Boy Dunn.
Yep.
And he just kind of got the bug from being in the studio. Next thing you know, we had a group, and it just kind of hit off. You know,
We need that boy Don on here.
yeah,
Get
definitely.
both y'all on here.
Oh yeah.
Skyscraper reunion. How about that? Is there going to be another album, Skyscraper?
I would like there to be another one, honestly. But I really don't know if it can happen.
Okay.
I think we're all kind of like adulting really hard right now. You know, they both have serious relationships, which they barely had any of them while we were as a group. You know.
I got a serious relationship with myself.
That's good. You gotta love yourself.
Yeah,
Man.
you do. That's where it starts.
Hey, Pornhub's great, man.
Hey, we not. No, not that. I'm saying you gotta love yourself before you can love somebody else. That's where I was going with that.
I agree
Very
with that.
Hey, you're a real sick individual.
No, on serious note,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And I think a lot of people mess up by trying to love other people when they don't,
It
when they're
starts
not
with you.
ready. They're not ready.
It starts with you.
Yeah, and
So-
that's a problem.
And that can be difficult for some people. You know.
Yeah.
So
And I'm proud of them, man. You know, they're in real happy with their relationships now, and they got some real good
I
girls,
never see
man.
either one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
I
You
see
have
them
it.
all the time. So
Their girls are awesome, man, and they take care of each other, man, and I wish them the best. Like I said, I'd love for there to be another Skyscraper album, but I just don't really know. Not only that, but you know, Juwan being the visionary behind everything, he musically I think is going in another direction outside of hip hop. So I would understand if he would. I don't think he wants to do anything with hip hop anymore, and he wants to broaden his horizons.
right.
And I
So
respect that.
is he still working on that blues album?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But like I said, he's wifed up, so it's taking a lot longer than it normally would. There is supposed to be a Skyscraper reunion sometime in the works, I believe, this year.
Okay.
Landry's actually working on a documentary. I don't know if he wanted me to spill the beans about this. Maybe I can ask him and y'all can edit it out if you didn't want me to. But,
Hey.
but he's actually working on a documentary, and we're gonna do like a reunion show.
I'm interested.
Sometime this year.
Very.
It's supposed to be this year. We'll see what happens. Because our 10-year anniversary, I believe, was last year.
Okay.
So,
What new producer out there would you want to work with right now? If you were going to.
locally or
Locally.
there's my homie Veritas. He's been doing a lot of stuff with Meth One. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Meth One just put out an album, Definition of One Nation. It's a really good album. He actually featured me and Landry on a track on there.
Okay.
But his producer Veritas is like really dope. He's kind of like the best kept secret in the city right now. He's ill, and I'm definitely gonna reach out to him to do some work with him.
Who's your favorite local rapper right now?
Harlow's really killing it.
Yeah.
You know, we did it. We've done a few shows with Harlow, and I think we all kind of knew he had that glow. You know, when we were doing stuff with him, we always kind of joked around about how he was next up and he was going to make it, and sure enough, he did. You know,
he did.
He's got that deal with DJ Drama, my twin. You know, so yeah, and he's everywhere, man. Like I look at his Instagram, and he's got shows here and the festivals there. I mean, he's killing it right now.
Working, man.
Yeah.
He's eating. The TJ Khaled was saying.
He's young too, man. His potential. He can only go up.
Yeah.
He's got so much time to get things figured out. But I feel like honestly, he's kind of an old soul. He's got a lot of it figured out already. So.
Right. So we got a couple minutes here. We're gonna wrap this up. Adrian, you got any more questions?
Well, this is a sports podcast, basically, show. So I have to ask you, since you're a U of L guy,
Oh yeah.
what does U of L need to do for next season, man? Basketball, to turn this thing around. Is Padgett their guy going forward?
I think we have to wait for the tournament to see if Padgett's the guy. I think he shows a lot of potential, but I also feel like there are a lot of things that he lets happen that shouldn't happen.
Okay.
And for instance, Malik Williams should not be able to shoot all threes that he shoots.
Well,
He's a decent 3-point shooter. Patino would not have that.
No.
you're right. You're right.
Hell, he probably wouldn't get the clock that he's getting under Patino. And that's I feel like that's the one thing, the main thing that he lacks that Patino has was the ability to put fire under these guys. But I think he does show a lot of potential. as a coach, and I think he's done a great job with what he has so far. He was kind of put in a messed up situation. And I think he's made the best of it, and he's a young. He's obviously inexperienced,
Right.
but I think he's kind of learning as he goes. I feel if we can get like a high prestige coach to replace him, I would take that. But if we stuck with him and just try to make it work, I think I could be okay with that too.
You can let it.
And honestly, I don't even know who would we go after to replace him right now.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, my hat tips off to him for what he's done. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's been a rough season, man, but I think it would have been either way. Our conference is really we beat the crap out of each other, man.
Yeah,
so
it's very tough.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. That 30-point loss to Kentucky didn't help either, but
Well,
We know what that is.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Well, man, appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
I hope you come back and bring all this ice, that you got here.
We'll
So,
have you and Dunn on here next time.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ready for that.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
sure
if I'm
we are.
ready for that.
so hopefully the next time it's going to be a skyscraper reunion for a
Right.
new album.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
there we go.
And shout out to High Five Donuts.
High
Yes.
Five Donuts.
I need an
Sugar-
endorsement.
Sugar and Spice Donuts.
I need an endorsement from one of y'all, man.
Right.
Mr. Goodbar.
Yes, sir.
I know y'all can't see me, but I eat a lot of donuts. You can tell, so give me a deal.
We all do.
Yes.
Well, that does it for us, guys. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Kentucky Game Plan.
I'm Adrian.
Also, I'm Mac. We'll be posting links for Mr. Goodbar's music if you want to check out his videos. So check that out on our YouTube page. And thanks for tuning in to the Kentucky Game Plan.